Hello, we're live again. In 100 Mile House. We are in Centennial Park. Centennial Park? Mm-hmm. Yes. And we are with
Saturn,
Kristen, and Lori. This has been too long a day. And you guys are now all from small town, big smiles. What is that all about?
So, Small Town Big Smiles is a community initiative that I created in the fall of last year, and we're based around asset-based community development, or ABCD. Yeah.
Ooh.
And
can you elaborate on that?
Yes, I can.
I'm glad you asked.
So asset-based community development basically takes a community and you look at the community as a glass half full. So you're looking at the assets that the community already has instead of what the community is already lacking. So instead of saying there's not enough housing and there's not enough of this and there's not enough of that, you take all of the gifts and assets in the community, like our Centennial Park right now, huge asset for our community.
Totally.
So you kind of look at all the assets and gifts that people have in the community and try to bring them together and basically spread kindness and do amazing things in our community.
And so I just want to know about the crossover between the Pride Society and what you do. How did you meet Saturn?
Well, I work at the Canadian Mental Health Association South Cariboo branch
Nice.
as the community engagement coordinator, and part of like a little side project in our branch is the Climate Mental Health Change Task Force. So they basically look at different like wildfires and floods and things like that, and how extreme weather events can affect people's mental health, and they're interested in how it affects people in the South Cariboo, because we do struggle with like wildfires and floods and all that sort of stuff. So they were brought on to asset-based community development, and a fellow by the name of Joe Erpenbeck from Cincinnati. And they know how much I love working in the community, and they came to me one day and they're like, hey, like we're just doing a lot of research on this asset-based community development, or ABCD, and we wanted to know if it's something that you kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about and maybe implement in the community. So I jumped at the opportunity and I was like, heck yeah, I do, because it just gives me another chance to kind of be in the community and do some amazing things. So I worked with Joe through video chat for probably a good 2.5 months or so, and then it was time to kind of finally take the group or create a group and kind of see what we could do. So I tried to think of all of the people that I've met throughout my job who are equally as community minded and love 100 Mile as much as I do. And of course, Saturn was one of them, because I know how much she loves 100 Mile and how community minded she is, and Lori as well. So Lori works with the White Cane Club here in 100 Mile House, and I work with Lori on the district's accessibility committee. So I was like, yeah, Lori, and I reached out to a bunch of people that I knew kind of throughout the community that love 100 Mile just as much as I do. And
You're like the glue.
Kind of,
the glue of positivity.
Totally.
And you find other groups and communities that have their morals align with what you believe in. Is that kind of
exactly
right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was just a group of people that I thought would kind of want to join me and kind of do things together. So
I'm assuming generally you've had a pretty positive response with everyone.
Such a positive response. Just about everybody invited out to our initial group meeting last October is part of the group, and it's growing steadily ever since then. I think we've gotten 3 or 4 new members over the last couple months as well too, which is amazing.
Nice, good for you.
It's pretty awesome.
And having a occupation in mental health is, that's just another bonus in that.
Exactly.
You're very well rounded in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm part of a bunch of different things in the community. So the accessibility committee, and we started the ABCD, and I'm a board committee member of different boards and stuff like that. So just kind of like getting out in the community.
Do you ever relax?
I do sometimes. Yes. Some days are definitely pretty busy, but I do kind of keep the weekends for like camping and fishing and exploring and all that sort of stuff as well too. So.
I feel like you do what you love, so it doesn't maybe feel like work all the time.
It doesn't. It definitely has its moments where it gets stressful, but for the most part, I do love what I do. So I enjoy going to work and look forward to getting up and going to work every day. So yeah, it's not so bad.
Nice.
So what is it that the work that you do with Small Town Big Smiles sort of look like on a day-to-day or like a week-by-week basis?
Well, we're still very brand new, so
Yeah.
we're still kind of in our infant stage. So right now, we basically have our meetings the second Thursday of every month. We'll meet in 100 Mile House here, and we all kind of get together and talk about what's coming up for the next month and talk about the different projects that we have going on. So we're still fairly new, so we only have a couple projects that we've kind of started right now. that we're kind of
It's
working
good
on.
to start small and ease into it. Like
Exactly.
I've seen businesses kind of crumble because they just got too big too fast
and too busy.
Too busy,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's the thing, because most of the members of our group already have different organizations and things that they belong to and family and stuff outside of life. I wanted to create something where they didn't feel like they had to commit a huge amount of time, because time and personal life is very important. And when you're already so busy with different organizations, sometimes that can take up a lot of time. So I wanted to create something that was very low key, didn't take a lot of time, wasn't a huge commitment. It was kind of like, if you're here for a meeting, that's fine. If you can help out at an event, that's great, but if not, then that's totally okay as well too. So something that just wasn't like a huge time commitment for everybody.
And I think a lot of people, especially as they increase the amount of time they spend with different nonprofit organizations or donating their time to different things, they can frequently burn themselves out.
Yes.
Which I think is not something that you would want. It's not going to generate a big smile on somebody who's kind of like needing to like punch out of the work they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just meeting once a month is not bad, because we only meet for an hour and we generally stick to that hour. So, sometimes we'll chat for a little bit after here and there, but we generally like to just keep it to that 1 hour a month. And then the events that we've had so far haven't really taken up too much time. They've primarily been during the working day during the working day so far. There hasn't been anything on the weekends and things like that. So it's been pretty low key, which is good.
Do you want to maybe describe some of the events that you guys have done already, or?
Yes, you betcha. So our first event was we called it Kindness Rocks.
I think like
Kindness
the
Caribou
Rock
Project.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. So basically what we did is we got together at the farmers market a few weeks ago, and we had a table set up, and we invited the community to come and help us paint rocks. So we painted, I want to say it was like almost 60 rocks that day,
wow.
which was absolutely amazing. Some of the rocks are absolutely incredible.
Did you spread them around
Did
town?
you see
'Cause
one?
I
Yes.
did.
Oh,
it was
that's awesome.
about this big, and it was just a lot of dots, but it was blue and
Oh, that's
Cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
so
what
cool.
we're doing with the rocks. So now that all the rocks have been painted, all of the members are going kind of throughout the South Caribou and hiding the rocks.
That's so
we're hoping,
wholesome.
right? Yeah, super cool. So we're hoping that people will find them. And on the back of our rocks, our hashtag Small Town Big Smiles is on the back of the rocks. So we're hoping that people, when they find the rocks, will see the hashtag, take a picture of them with the rock, and tell us their story, because we really want to
Brilliant.
know where they found the rock, what they were doing when they found the rock, and just kind of get people connected and telling stories and sharing stories with each other, and kind of really bringing the community together to create more resiliency and just create a more connected community.
That sounds like a really
that's
fun
the
idea.
cheapest marketing ever. Should we do that?
Totally.
Yeah,
Okay,
except
we're spotting
we
Kelsey.
should have a little QR code with our YouTube link on it. That's really cool. I saw that you guys also are putting together a cookbook now.
We are, which we're super excited about. So we're going to create an online community cookbook. So we're inviting the community to share their favorite recipes with us, because in 100 Mile House we have so many different cultures that live in one small community. So we're really hoping to tap into some of those really old family recipes and recipes that people would have made like with their grandma or their mom or whoever, and just bring back like really fond memories. So we're asking people to share their recipes with us. And again, and share a story about that recipe and why it's their favorite recipe, and just kind of really bring people together and connected that way as well. So we're accepting recipes until October 31st, and then over the winter, because of course we have snow and not really many outside activities during the winter, we're going to compile them all and put them online, and then have kind of like a launch party in the spring where we're hoping we can get everybody together and they can bring one of their recipes, that like cook one of their recipes and bring it and have a potluck and share with everybody, and kind of have like a big launch party for the cookbook. Yeah, we're pretty excited about that as well too.
And so, go ahead.
I'm just curious what Lori has to say. What
regard?
Well,
On what topic?
I forgot what you're involved with exactly. Let's talk about that.
Before I was invited into Small Town Big Smiles, you mean?
Sure. Let's start from when you were born.
Oh my! Well, about 20 years ago. Actually, almost 35 years ago, somebody called me up and invited me to a meeting for visually impaired people.
Okay.
And I went to a meeting, and as I said, coming up this fall, 35 years later, I'm still involved. I'm one of the only founding member left.
Oh, wow.
But we are a chapter of the Canadian Council of the Blind, which is a national organization.
Yeah.
And like I said, our chapter was founded here by Mr. Ralph Middlemass, who has sadly left us. And we've just been growing and building ever since. So.
And were you in 100 Mile at this point, 35 years ago? When?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, I've been in 100. They hit me right away. 36 years I've been in 100 Mile. I migrated here.
Well, you must love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I like small town. I think it's important for everybody to experience both types of living, country and city.
That's fair.
And I grew up in a rural setting, and I,
Yeah.
younger years, worked in Vancouver and that sort of thing. So I did experience, and then I knew what I wanted was country. So
Nice.
And so we came here.
That's a common theme. We've been up in this area a few times now, and a lot of people came from the coast to enjoy like a more peaceful, like slower paced life out here. Yeah. Okay, Kristen too.
Totally.
Huh.
It's hard to go back.
I know.
Even though when you leave, it's, I swear I'll be back every 3 months.
So, what has your role been? What exactly do you do?
We're basically a chapter of a national organization that provides social and recreational support and peer mentoring to low vision and blind people.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if anybody in our community is experiencing some sort of vision loss, and it's a pretty scary journey.
I can imagine.
We're there to assist in any way we can, and we don't have all the answers, but we've been, like I say, we're very well established in the community. We have received a ton of community support, or I don't think we would be here after all these years.
I could see people needing counseling for
A lot of that. I've spent a lot of hours on the phone and in person providing that. I'm not a certified counselor in any way. It's from lived experiences that you share your knowledge.
and I think that could be made better.
More valuable than most realize, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not something that's just black or white. It's and it's a wide spectrum, the topic of vision loss, and it wasn't until more recent years that we discovered that you can't just say, I myself can say I was born with a genetic condition, so I've had low vision all my life. I've never been blind yet, and there's a big contrast between the two, and I'm slowly finding that out. So on one hand, you might think you're well experienced even as a low vision person, that you have a lot of information to share with somebody that needs it. But again, if you haven't lived that next step, you can't really share it. And I'm a blind person in training right now.
Well, good. I think you're doing pretty good at it.
So, but during those years, I was able to. The Canadian Council of the Blind is very proud for us because it was founded in 1944 by blinded war veterans. And it is an organization of the blind to be run by the blind. So it gives a lot of leadership opportunities as well. And for myself personally, I had a lot of growth through that experience. Although when I was first invited to a local meeting, I didn't know that I needed to go to that meeting. And yet, 35 years later, I can say to you that I had spent 17 years on a provincial board of directors for the CCB. And I worked my way up to be the first national vice president at one point.
Good
And
for
then
you.
I came back down to realizing that my community really needed me the most.
So you scaled it back and kind of worked for the smaller group. at that point?
Yeah, so in 2019, I gave up my positions on the provincial and national boards of directors, and I've just been focusing on the community here, our local chapter members, which I was still involved with. But then the COVID years hit, and that really set, as we all know, many people and organizations back.
Yeah.
So fortunately for my experience, I was able to write some grants during that time, and that saved us financially, and it helped us restructure and modernize because a lot of members are of age because of, vision loss comes with aging, naturally speaking. So whether you've had an accident or an illness or a genetic condition, quite often it's just because of aging. And there's all sorts of age-related type of vision loss. So a lot of the membership, depending on their age and their abilities, because we focus on abilities, not the one disability, and many people are able to do a lot of things. But we were left with a restructuring problem, and we didn't have enough leaders. And so I was, like I said, with my experience, I was able to help keep the chapter going.
Nice.
But one of our biggest accomplishments has been the last 10 years. We have, when Kristen talks about taking your community cup that's already half full, and to increase that, there's an organization in town called the Cedar Crest Society, and the White Cane Club was able to collaborate with the Cedar Crest Society almost 10 years ago, and we run the thrift store, the Cedar Crest Thrift Store, every Sunday. So our vision impaired members and our sighted supporting members work with us on a weekly basis, and that is our source of revenue. And it's coming up 10 years already, and it's given us financial independence. It's helped reduce strain on other supporting groups, such as our Lions, who are the Knights of the Blind, and our Legion, a fabulous supporter of the White Cane Club over the years. But because of our independence financially now, we're able to allow them to save their funds to give to another group that might need it more.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You're very well appreciated, I'm sure.
Very much so.
sometimes I think maybe, other times maybe not.
Oh, I don't know. What are your hobbies? I'm just so curious. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Oh, goodness. I guess the first thing that comes to mind, my babies are my houseplants. I love houseplants.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, through the years, we had a blind curling team, so we were on the circuit for 10 years.
Wow.
I had never curled before, but my partner had, and he doesn't like the administrative part, and I like that. I like being behind the scenes. So I helped do some paperwork and get the team going, and we did. We were part of the blind curling circuit for 10 years.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And we're just short of players right now. We have the jackets. We've got even some curling funds left over. So anybody listening?
How about adaptive sports?
Very much so. I was trying to get into tandem cycling myself.
Really?
And Jim and I were part of a blind team from across Canada. We were going to do Mount Kilimanjaro in 2020.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
wow.
Lori.
In 2020, get it? 2020 vision.
Oh, you're
And
funny.
that fell through. So we,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. Each day you start to get. We still want to do more. So yes, adaptive sports is really valuable. We're a little bit limited here. And,
Yeah.
but we.
Sun Peaks has a really great adaptive ski program.
And
Yeah.
lots of places. And Kelowna has the Community Recreational Initiative Society, too, that does adaptive sports.
Nice.
And there's Power to Be somewhere out there in North Van, I think. They
Yeah.
try to help with adaptive sports.
Yeah.
Sometimes for us, too, it's transportation out of Dodge here, you know.
Yeah.
So connecting to go elsewhere. And since Greyhound left us in 2018 as well. So, but we're always... I'm anxious to do more. Again, it depends on my fellow members. We've just recruited a newer member that moved here. She's only 27 years old, so my sight's on her and keeping us active. She doesn't
You're
know
going to
it
pass
yet.
the torch to her, huh?
Because she's done some adaptive sports as well. So,
How many-
I'd love to go. I actually I was still ice skating 2 years ago. So anything you want to do, you can adapt.
Yeah.
You know, it can happen.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily really easy. I'm not saying just because
But
I
it's
want
not
to,
impossible.
It's not impossible, you know.
Yeah. How many people are in your board or committee?
Right now in the club itself.
Club, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. we don't even like really calling it a club, but there's a little history with the name. It's a long name, and right now we have a combined membership of sighted and low vision and blind people of 27.
27.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But I will say the majority of them, I think 8 of us are legally blind, and one gentleman is totally blind. And
So legally blind and totally blind are different things.
yes,
Okay.
mind you, if you're legally blind, you'd be considered,
So can you describe the difference? Is that okay?
absolutely.
I think, sometimes people are a little scared to ask these questions because we worry about hurting people's feelings. Is it okay to ask about these sort of things?
It absolutely is. It's like anything in life, as long as it's done with kindness and respect.
Totally.
You bet.
So what's the difference between legally blind and
Total.
totally blind?
Well, let's start with total.
Sure.
I can't see anything.
Right. Yeah.
It seems pretty easy and straightforward, but a lot of misconceptions there as well, because a lot of people think that you see total blackness when you're blind.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah, not necessarily true.
Okay.
And I'm not a medical expert, but I can tell you, just based on the many, many people I have met from coast to coast in the blind community over the years, that there's a varying degree of even total blindness. So if your total blindness is caused from retinal issues,
Okay.
quite possibly, and I'll refer to myself, I have constant between myself and you, and when I look around, I have constant lights flashing, like strobe lights and pulsing
Does it
light.
hurt?
It what I'm looking through, that doesn't hurt, but
Yeah.
yes, there's a lot of fatigue and eye-related strain, and
So that's why the visor's on to help
thank
with
you.
that?
Yeah, I had to incorporate that into my wardrobe about 15 years ago as part of lighting. To like the sky is very bright, and
Yeah.
So I was just going to say, so just still talking about total blindness.
Yeah.
I didn't know I would be talking so much today, but
Well, you don't. I mean,
and
you
it's
don't
okay.
have to.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to get the word out and
Mm-hmm.
the education of it all. It's like any topic. I would say, how would we know about something if somebody doesn't talk to us about it?
Totally.
Yeah.
If you have diabetes and I don't know anything about it, how am I going to know if I don't talk about it? How am I going to know about the Pride community if I don't ask questions about it? Or
Mm-hmm. Right.
mental health.
Mental health, yeah.
How am I going to
Yeah.
know? So I appreciate the questions being asked. It depends when and where and how.
Sure.
And yet
Yeah.
at the same time, sometimes we're quite fatigued too because we're constantly educating. But that's okay. And again, going back to my own stuff, so the lighting doesn't. The light outside external light hurts. The internal lights, it's just a mental health issue, Kristen. It's because it's constantly gnawing at you. You have to sort of look through it. Between the lights, there's also lots of floaters and that sort of thing. But anyway,
Right.
we can't spend all day on that topic. But then there's legal blindness.
Okay.
And legal blindness is a term that the government recognizes you if you have 10% of what is considered normal 20/20 vision or less. So 10% or less until 0. So from 1%, myself even, I have a fraction of sight left. It's useless sight. It actually causes me more pain because of the light. But I wouldn't be considered totally blind yet. So again, almost from 0 to 10% is legal blindness. And it's a wide range. There's again, there is life after vision loss. That's one of the White King Club in 100 Mile House. One of our mission part of our mission statement is discovering life with after vision loss. Like life is not over, but don't get us wrong. It's not easy. It's scary, and it depends when it happens to you and how it happens to you.
Right.
So if you've got time to prepare, perhaps, like myself, I've had some time over the years to be one step ahead of it. Maybe learn Braille before I lose my sight. Do this before learn technology. But if you're 88 years old and all of a sudden you lose your sight,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I guarantee you it's going to be a different journey than mine was.
Well, also other parts of your body aren't working the same, and your
That's right.
fingers. It's just
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That's a
could
good
see
point,
that.
Kelsey. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have diabetes, reading Braille isn't necessarily going to be your thing. If you've had no exposure to a cell phone, for example, technology is amazing for the blind right now. It is amazing.
good.
Now, that's number one, if you can afford it, like anything in life. And number two is if you've had some background. So again, if you weren't exposed to much technology and you lost your sight, and we said, hey, pick up your cell phone and start learning accessibility technology, probably harder for that person. And I'm not saying it probably is. It might not be. It depends on their mindset and that sort of thing. But somebody if you've already operated your cell phone and you lose your sight, the transition won't be as difficult for you. because you've had that exposure. So another example, I almost want to say to anybody, anything you did before you lost your sight, you probably can still do. You just adapt differently, just like we talked about sports and that sort of thing.
Right. And do you almost gain like another sense, like your intuition gets better, or
That's that famous question.
yeah?
Do your ears work better? Do I need to talk
Do I smell
louder
good right
'cause
now?
you can't see?
Do people think they need to speak louder?
It's the sort of the brain, the way the brain plays tricks on you. Hi, Lori. Actually, you do not. I think it's just basically you utilize your sight, or sorry, your other senses better. They don't improve. They don't improve.
True.
The hearing level is still the same, but you get tuned into it more. You learn how, and yes, it's. I think my reflexes are better. And that's
Are you a ninja?
I'd like to be. But it's just one of those things, the brain sort of compensates. Mostly we see with our brain to begin with. And so when you lose your sight, you're seeing from memory. And just for on the reflex topic, for example, if I went about to drop my cane, for example, my brain would probably catch it. It would tell me, quick, grab it, because it's easier to grab it than to get down on my hands and knees and search for it. So it's just coming automatically, and I'm thinking, quite time, I'm proud. Ooh, I could be a ball player.
Can we learn about the cane? Because I've always wondered, how does it work? So there's a white part at the end.
This year?
I've seen them, but I don't know how they work. They're so cool.
Well, this is a mobility cane that just happens to be folded up, and then I would open it to make it mobile.
Okay.
This is the tip.
Okay. Yeah. And it's just but it's just a plastic. There's nothing
This
special to
one,
it.
I want to say, I'm like the NHLers. You can get it in graphite. You can get it in fiberglass. Or you can get it in aluminum. So you have your choice. And I've played around with a lot of canes and checked them out. And as I said, I'm still in training. And this one is a graphite one, partly because I wanted a lighter weight cane. You're bound to get carpal tunnel in your wrist because you're constantly sweeping with it. It's to tell you your obstacles in front of you if you're using it correctly, you know. And so it's a sweeping motion. We take orientation and mobility instruction if we can get it, and that actually is offered from the CNIB, which is a good point to mention. CNIB is famous in Canada. Most people think CNIB looks after all the blind people, etc. They only know CNIB. Now, don't get me wrong, they do help. CNIB is the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, but as I already mentioned, our little group here is excuse me, I'm getting a little thirsty. Is
I have
under
nothing to offer you.
I didn't know I'd be talking. Is a chapter of the Canadian Council of the Blind. But we're often referred to, even after 35 years in this community, so the advocacy, the education needs to continue on and on and on, we still often get called the CNIB. So I just wanted to say that, but the orientation and mobility part of instruction is very valuable and comes through the CNIB. That is very important. And again, they teach you to navigate through your own community, through your world. The next step is a guide dog, and I'm looking into that.
Ooh, what kind? I love dogs.
The kind that will guide me?
Maybe not a Chihuahua.
No, they use mostly the labs, and golden retrievers, and crossbreeds of the two. The nature of them.
Maybe one that doesn't shed.
They do use the standard poodle for that reason, for persons with allergies.
Labradoodles.
Yeah. This the tall, and what more could I tell you?
So I
There's
guess
different tips as well. Canes the tips. The whole idea of the tip is to give you send information to you before you go down that hole that you're just about to fall into.
Is it through vibration? I'm just curious.
Not this one necessarily. But there's different tips that can tell you different things. So there's this one's called the marshmallow tip.
I can see why.
and it rolls. So it rolls, so you can, you're going back and forth.
Oh.
And it rolls. Different tips have different purposes, but there's different types of.
So if you were to go hiking versus walking down this sidewalk, would you pick a different cane?
Depends on the terrain And I did actually have a cane custom made for hiking, even though I haven't been out hiking. And I wanted a longer one to see if, because then I could be seen more further ahead of me. What I discovered through that is the weight. You just add a few inches or a different type of tip on it. Your arm it's so, I've been testing different tips, different canes, different styles. But yes, and then there was a wheel that I could put on there's a wheel tip. So I haven't tried. I wanted to explore the forest with that one, but we haven't quite got there.
Fun. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, how did you end up connecting with the small town Big Smiles folks?
I was invited. Or coerced.
And how did Kristen find you?
I think, as she said, we were already on the the District 100
Right.
Miles
Oh, right.
District Accessibility
Right.
Committee, which was mandated by our provincial government to be formed by September 2023.
Another one of our members, Mike, he actually is the founder of the Caribou Brain Injury Association, and he's actually on the accessibility committee as well. So we all kind of knew each other from there,
Right.
and I know just from there how much Lori and Mike absolutely love the community as well. And then, of course, Saturn. Everybody in the community knows Saturn and that she's an amazing part of this community. So, yeah, it was just kind of natural to invite them all. And they all said yes to me, which was amazing. So I was very thankful for that.
I'm thankful that there are accessibility programs. I'm a support worker, so I work with
that's awesome.
adults with disabilities.
Oh,
so that's a big
fantastic.
word for me.
Yeah.
And so what sort of things do you look out for, like sidewalks that aren't wheelchair friendly, or like what's an example
pretty
of?
much. We've so far we have taken a trip down Birch Avenue, so just the primary part of Birch Avenue. I think it took us maybe like an hour, I think maybe even a little bit more than an hour
Yeah.
We were
on our
scheduled for an
first
hour.
initial walk, and it was so mind-blowing to see things from a different perspective that you don't really see when you're rushing down Birch Avenue to try and go to the store or wherever. When you actually slow down and take a minute to walk the street, you actually find a lot of things. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of things, that makes it sound bad, but you find things
Enough.
that you see from a different set of eyes. So another one of our members of the accessibility committee, we borrowed a wheelchair from Red Cross, and we pushed him around in a wheelchair. And another one of our members, she's actually in a wheelchair as well. Her name is Alicia, and we pushed both of them around 100 Mile, and we had Lori. So we had kind of different perspectives on everything.
That's awesome.
And just noticing like different cracks and sandwich boards, how how much sandwich boards can affect somebody with visual impairment or
Totally
a
tripping
wheelchair.
hazard.
Exactly, because they're right out in the middle of the sidewalk, and so you don't really realize that when you're walking by. And there was a lot of spots where people were actually parked into the sidewalk, so they'd be in a parking lot, but they'd pull so far forward that they were actually taking up half of the sidewalk, which you don't generally realize.
So you have to
as
like
well.
paint across
Yeah, or even
crosshatch
have like
or whatever,
Yeah, or even
so
have
people
like
don't
the
park.
little no post or something, so they're not parked like right in the sidewalk. So it was actually really mind blowing to see all of these different kind of things throughout the Birch Avenue, which was crazy. And then coming up in August, we're actually going to take a walk through Centennial Park to see how accessible the park is for people as well. Yeah, so one of the things that we created as the accessibility committee is, I want to say it's that picnic table shelter over there. They actually installed a pathway. Yeah, you betcha.
Oh,
So they installed a pathway so somebody in a wheelchair or with mobility issues can actually get to the picnic table.
Very nice.
Because before that, you couldn't get a wheelchair
hard
across
to push
grass,
on
and
grass.
it
Yeah.
was really hard. So because of the accessibility committee, we created that, which was really exciting. And yeah, so we're looking forward to that as well too. It's awesome to be part of such an awesome group.
But the table itself is wheelchair accessible as well, not just the path to
Yeah.
the table.
Oh, wow.
The
Right.
table has been,
Yeah, need a different height and everything.
one
Oh,
side
I
has
see.
no bench.
I see. Yeah. Oh, I'm yelling in the mic.
Because you're excited. It's okay.
I do get excited about accessibility.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be a part of that. So it's a great
Do you have
movement
any
as well.
plans for things that you want to do further down the road, or bigger projects or, anything of that nature? Or
Well, with Small Town Big Smiles, we do have a clothing swap coming up on September 27th,
Okay.
which we're pretty excited about. So we're just in the planning phases of that. I think it's really important to have a clothing swap towards the end of September because school is kind of settled in and it gives people a good chance to swap clothes because clothes are expensive nowadays.
Oh, they
and
are,
in
yeah.
Hunter Mall House, we don't have a lot of shopping options. So it's tough for people to go out and buy clothes. But a lot of people, exactly, right, which is closed right now. So you can't even shop at Fields at the moment. So it's really important for us to kind of put together the clothing swap, and for people who just can't afford clothes, it's a great opportunity to exchange your wardrobe, get new clothes, and feel better about yourself, because if you're wearing clothes that you might not be confident in and you go to a clothing swap and find something, it's like, oh, this is amazing, I feel so good in it. Kind of gives you more self-esteem and confidence. So it all kinds of ties into spreading positivity throughout the community.
And when was that again? That's September?
September 27th. So
And where is it taking place?
it's going to be at the Caribou Family Enrichment Center in their
Quetzalcoatl.
that room from 12 to 3. So yeah, we're really excited about that. So we're going to start we're going to start advertising for people to drop off their donations probably a couple weeks before that and see what we can kind of get together. And yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
And just
So
open to the public.
you betcha, for anybody to come on in and try things on and update your wardrobe. Some of my best finds personally have been at thrift stores and yard sales.
Oh,
where
I know.
You find like the best stuff and it's super inexpensive, but at least at the clothing swap it'll be free. And I mean, I know most people have clothes in their closet that either don't fit or you're just holding on to or don't really know what to do with. So
Maybe
yeah.
not underwear.
No, definitely not underwear.
But
No undergarments.
they sell it at Valley Village. I'm just saying.
Not even if it's been bleached.
No undergarments.
Original packaging and never been opened.
No.
Yeah, no
Anything but
undergarments. Gently clean, gently used, washed, that sort of thing. But we're also opening it up to dog clothes and cat clothes.
Oh my God.
Because I know for myself, I have probably about 6 or 7 dog jackets that my little mini wiener dachshund has grown out of that he just does not fit anymore. So we thought it'd be a great place for
What
people
are they?
to.
Firefighter?
No, there's actually
Pickle?
a company down on the coast called Sharper Barker, and they make specific clothes for wiener dogs because it's so hard to find clothes for them because they're long
Small
and short. So it's like you can't go to the pet store and pick up a jacket for a wiener dog. So this company makes stuff that's like tailored, like precise fit to wiener dogs, which is absolutely amazing.
So cute.
Yeah, fantastic. So I will have lots of those if anybody has a wiener dog that they need clothes for.
Do you want to say hi to your wiener dog?
Hi, Colonel.
All of these issues with animals that you don't think about,
Exactly.
How are you going to keep your wiener dog in the hottest fashions?
So what's Colonel going to be for Halloween this year?
Colonel actually doesn't really like dressing up for Halloween. He's a colonel and he's very grumpy, so he's not a big fan. And even when I pull out his sweaters now, like literally, he'll watch me and he'll see me
Mom,
pull
no.
them out. And as soon as he spies me pulling the sweater out, he's like gone and he goes and hides underneath the table. He's like not having any part of it. Yeah. He does
Leave
not
me
like
with my
sweaters.
dignity.
He was not happy when we moved to Hunter Mile House. He does not like winter, and usually, because we have like 3-4 feet of snow sometimes,
Sure,
so
yeah.
he has to go out on like the designated paths, and he's short-haired, so he just gets so cold, and winter is not his favorite time of year.
Well, talking about accessibility, like winter is going to be another, hurdle. So how are you going to make it more accessible in the winter?
We're actually going to do a walk around town. We were
Yeah?
supposed to do it last winter, but it never happened. But we're hoping to have it for this winter to kind of walk around the sidewalks and see how accessible it is in the winter. I can speak from experience. Our sidewalks up here are generally absolutely amazing compared to what they were on the coast.
Oh,
yeah. Because my
Yeah.
family moved up here 5 years ago from Abbotsford, and the winters up here, like the roads, are mostly fantastic during the winter. And we have a marsh around just over by the rec center that they keep plowed and sanded, so you can walk around the marsh all winter long. The park gets sanded and plowed as well, so you can still come to the park and enjoy it. They do an absolutely fantastic job here with that during the winter.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Winter's scary. It's just like, all the fun's closing. But
Right?
yeah.
And it's cold and gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it.
I'm running out of things to say.
I like ice skating still.
Do you?
Yeah, and I did
That's so
actually. I did go
cool.
ice skating 2 years ago, but the only reason I rented the arena for myself, and
I didn't know you
because
could do that.
if they have a spot opened, like if
okay.
they just happen to have, like it was during Christmas break, and if they don't have minor hockey going or something else going, and they had a little slot opened, and because I love ice skating, but I'm scared I can't do it at public skate anymore. And so again, talking about trying to adapt.
It's too busy,
to
yeah.
adapt. So I thought, well, I'll try it this way. I've done it twice now. I've rented the arena, and last time, it's the first time I used my cane. I skated around with my cane.
That's very cool.
And that was cool. But again, you can't afford $150 an hour all the time. But you
Oh,
know,
wow.
but that's cheap. But and I rationalize it to myself because they said, well, people go out and pay for concert tickets. They
Yeah.
do
Good
all
point,
kinds
yep.
of things for more than that, but on a regular basis. So again, we're just talking. I brought it in up because we were talking about winter and what to do in the winter, and we also talked this before, even for anybody else here. If you're not into a winter sport, winter's not nice, right?
Yeah, I mean, skiing really
be.
saves me.
Yeah.
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 Because depression's a big deal for a lot of people in those months. So
Yes.
it's important that you guys stay together.
Yes,
and
definitely. Yes, definitely
Oh,
ice fishing.
Yeah?
We do lots of ice fishing.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely enjoy ice fishing. And cross-country skiing here is amazing because we have the 99-mile hill cross-country ski trails, which are absolutely fantastic. And there's a couple cabins on there where you can actually go and have a fire, and they're all lit up, and you can do night skiing. And I think most of the trails are actually lit at nighttime.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
can
very
still
cool.
do night skiing and stuff, which is absolutely amazing
We
as
want to
well,
hide
too.
some rocks up there.
Oh my
Rocks
God, I want to
coming
go.
soon.
Yes.
I love. I used to paint rocks too, like on the beach. But I would paint like creepy faces and then hide them in the trees and then watch people like. Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I want to hang out with you guys. Like so many fun people out here.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I was
100
gonna
Mile
say-
is such an amazing community.
Yeah.
It
When
really
you talk about
is.
winter, there's always sunshine too.
Yes, always
A lot
sunshine.
of sunshine. You might not stay all day, but there's always, I've always said for the 36 years I lived here, there's always almost seemed like every day there was some sunshine. Maybe, and there isn't every day, but especially the winter, it started out bright, but
You are the sunshine.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I like it. But
You all are sunshine to me, I think.
And I was going to say why I guess I accepted your invitation, Kristen, is because you are so community oriented and because you are so bubbly and you really do have the passion. It comes across as, but I called it bubbly, but it's very passionate. And I see that again just in this conversation how we are bringing those half full cups together. There's so many of our paths cross in this community, and everybody is so supportive of everybody. And I think I heard Saturn say maybe it was about how much there is to do in this community, and that there is so much volunteerism here.
Are you still looking for more people for the Small Town Big Smiles?
Yes, you betcha. If anybody
Yeah.
wants to join our group, the more the merrier, because the more people you have together, the more ideas you have, and the more people you have to help out at events, and so definitely the more the merrier. We'd love to have people
What if
join
people-
our
The whole
group.
community, right? The whole
Yeah.
community is welcome to be.
Yeah.
What about people
definitely.
from out of 100 Mile, like 70 miles?
South Caribou? We're totally open to anywhere in the South Caribou, which is amazing.
Anywhere past Caribou, you're like, no.
Well, if they wanted to, we wouldn't say no. We'd never turn anybody away.
So
But
actually, at the farmers market that we were most recently at, we had a couple of boards up with the titles "What's Your Best Day in 100 Mile," and a lot of folks, especially during the summertime on the weekends here, are visiting, and so a bunch of people would say, "Oh, I don't really live here. I don't know if I have like a best day, but actually, I've been coming here for 10 years or something, so maybe I do have some connections to 100
Yeah.
Mile." So actually, there is quite a lot of recreational folks around, and when they started thinking about it, they were like, you know what? Actually, I totally have a memory in 100 Mile that I want to write on the board. So yeah,
Interesting.
and there's surrounding recreational areas. We include those in the 100 Mile, but yeah.
Yeah.
And even for us, the White Cane Club, 100 Mile House and District, Blind and Visually Impaired White Cane Club, we have members from Williams Lake.
Oh wow.
We
Okay.
include exactly, if we can help anybody, we do
Yeah.
our best to do so.
Close enough.
And so if people do want to get connected, what's the best way to do that?
Probably reach out to us on social media. So reach out to us anyways. Go follow our pages.
Yeah.
Small
Yeah.
Town Big Smiles on Facebook and on Instagram, and kind of keep up with everything we have going on right now, because we do have a lot going on this year. So yeah,
Regarding
definitely.
accessibility, could we have a phone number as well? Because not everybody does social media.
Phone number. You can reach me at the CMHA office at 250-395-4883.
Fantastic.
Do you want to say it one more time?
250-395-4883. And that's the CMHA office, CMHA South Caribou.
You could wink at the camera too.
Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you think is important that we touch on, or?
I don't think so. I think just really, like, the whole reason I love Small Town Big Smiles is because we're a group of people that have come together without any agenda. We don't want to fundraise. We're not asking for money. We don't want to do like any of that sort of stuff. We literally just want to go and give back to the community and make people smile and spread kindness, because it's free to give, and it can totally make somebody's day. Like when we were at the farmers market this past Friday with our boards, everybody that stopped by our tent was smiling, like huge smiles. And the more they thought about that amazing memory, the bigger they smiled. And you could just tell that it just like, yeah, it was so heartwarming to see everybody stop by and share those memories. Like some people had birthed like 2 babies there. There was one lady that had, way back before when you could have babies in the 100 Mile Hospital, it was like minus 56 when she had to go there and have her baby in like 1976.
Wow.
And they had to keep her there for 2 weeks because it was too cold to release her, which was amazing, right? And the other story that really kind of stuck out, there was a lady across from us. She was an amazing vendor, and she pulled out this frog that sang and danced, and it sang it Dancing in the Rain. And she told us that she had seen it in the Donnex. A month later, her friend had bought it and given it to her. So now every time she's at a market and it rains, she brings out this frog, because she was very big into musical theater in Vancouver in her younger years. And because he was singing Dancing in the Rain. So it was just amazing to hear those stories and have people share them with us. It was so fantastic. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with Small Town Big Smiles, is bring people together, connection, share stories. And it's just something that doesn't cost anything. It's free,
Todd's
which is
smiling.
amazing. Right? So even thinking about it, you're smiling, which is fantastic.
It's not
So
competitive, it's collaborative.
Exactly,
collaborative.
exactly.
So we're hoping that when people find our rocks, it will just bring a smile to their face and just kind of put some good out into the world.
Yeah. Oh man, I love you guys. It's just we there's just so many. There's a lot of mean people out there, you know, and it's
People
just it
suck
feels
sometimes.
so
Yeah.
good
Totally.
to experience, you know, the other side
Yeah.
of things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's
true.
kind of what we're hoping to do.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Anyone you want to say goodbye to?
Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Wanna say hi to your
Bye.
parents again?
Yeah, hi. I'll say hi to all my pets this time.
Talk about your pets.
Oh, no, that would take,
you-
we would be
I-
here for a long time.
Do you have reptiles?
No, you know what? That might be the only thing that we don't have is
Oh.
reptiles. We have a lot of animals.
Okay.
I always make this joke that like queers end up just like collecting a lot of animals. Like we'll just go to the pet store during an adoption event and
Was
end
Snow
up with,
White
like-
queer?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, we definitely have a lot.
It sounds like Julie too.
We also have like a whole farm. So like
Oh.
there's pets and then there's like
Oh, wow,
it's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
homestead, you
Oh.
know? So
You
yeah.
have a fun
Pets
life.
and food.
Yeah, pets and I mean a different type of pets, you know. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again.
Dogs. I like dogs.
Thanks for having
I
us.
like dogs too. I like cats. I don't have
is
any.
Thank
but
you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is our last stream
This is our
of
last
our
stream.
season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you
Fantastic.
for sharing
37?
with
Thank you
us.
for having
Oh,
us
it's
on.
chaotic. Just everyone's talking over each other.
Yeah. All right, this is the
I love
last
you,
chance to
TELUS.
say goodbye, everybody.